All right, hey guys, welcome back. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at this dual quad intake that I have for the Mustang and the carburetors that came with it, and see if we got ourselves a deal or if it's going to be a problem. Look at the size of those ports. Almost 1.75 inches by a little over 2. Big. But do they flow? That is the question. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you I have zero experience with dual quads. So why did I buy it? Well, it's going to look cool on the car. That is the main reason that I want this on the Mustang. It's going to look cool. Half of this car is function. Half of this car is, just how cool is it? How fun is it? Does it look good? Does it look like a race car? So I'm just going to pop these carburetors off here and set them aside. What they are Holley 600 CFM vacuum secondaries. They look like they're in really good shape. And I'm not sure on this linkage. We might be doing some different linkage because I want the progressive linkage. The cool thing is that this is a Blue Thunder intake. It's for the 429, 460, but they copied the spacing for the 428. So we can buy 428 linkages and 428 dual quad air cleaner if we want, and it'll fit, because a lot of the 429 460 stuff is a little oddball. Some of the other ones are spaced different. So here's what I'm curious of, and I hope you can see it. We might have to go get a light. Let me prop this up here. This is a dual plane, obviously. These holes are really deep. They're going down, so these two, and these two, they're going down to the lower half of this lower plane. And these ones are up high, and they do have a crossover right here. So I can just about stick my finger through there. What I've seen people do, and I found some pictures a long time ago and I cannot find them now, is these higher ones, or maybe it's the lower ones, that's where the confusion is. They had actually taken and removed material between them so they share a little bit of airflow. Because these ports some of these go a long ways. Let's see, you can see here we have the upper portion, and down here is the lower plane. So this is feeding upper, and this is feeding upper. We're going to idle on these two barrels right here, because basically you put these carbs on what people would consider backwards. The choke towards the front, and this is the one that they say you should run your idle circuit on. The front carb doesn't. The people that use these on Cobras and stuff, they don't run idle on the front. Although looking at it, this set here looks more centered than this one. So now I'm curious why they're running it on the front half of the rear carb pad here. All right, so what I've done here is I use the shop vac to suck some strings through the ports. This would be the idle ports we were talking about earlier. And color me surprised that these are only, if I can do it on camera here, pull out to the end, and they're only a few inches different. I thought it was going to be a much larger difference. What have we got? 3 inches, 4 inches. And if I spin it around, just pull these four. Careful. This is a little more exaggerated. These are all the same length strings, but that's not as big a difference as I thought there was going to be. Maybe I'll try the same experiment and pull the strings through these two. Maybe it doesn't matter. If they're all fairly close, then at idle and low throttle cruising, it's not that bad. Try and estimate properly here. Close enough. About the same. How about the other side? You don't need to be on there anymore. Just using that to block some airflow. So I'm just trying to pull these straight out and kind of get as close as I can to where the ends are. I like that. So this side looks better. The difference is much smaller. So this set seems a little more even side to side. This set, each side is closer. Well, kind of. I gotta think about this some more. Okay, so now we're gonna visualize airflow when both carburetors are wide open. And let's see what the difference is here. Now, these are gonna seem really short and probably all about the same length because each runner has its own carburetor. Yeah, look at that. That is a pretty small difference. Whoops. Just smash into stuff. So at higher throttles, especially wide open throttle, it's not going to make a huge difference. So if I set these up with progressive linkage, we're going to idle off of this set of barrels here with the choke and everything. And then at about a quarter throttle, we're going to start opening this second set. So that's where the progressive part comes in. And then the secondaries we will play with and see if we can get them to start opening up. When we get up above half throttle. I think there's a way to tune for that. I have to research that more. I got this big long sheet off the internet that I got a long time ago about tuning dual quads, so we will see how that turns out. In the meantime, I want some feedback. Maybe somebody knows what the heck they're doing with one of these. I think Blue Thunder calls this a high-rise manifold. It is kind of tall. It's nothing like a tall single plane, but it's not factory height either, that's for sure. Now the other thing I want to look at, and I'm going to get you in close with the light on the camera so you can visualize this with me. So here's what I was talking about earlier. You can just about stick your finger through there and it feeds from one corner to the other. And we got the same going on here. See that guy right there? These airflows will split in certain places. So if we're idling or we're part throttle off of here, you got air traveling through here, and this is this is going down to the second plane, so there's actually space on the outside for the air to travel through, and then in between the diagonal there. That happens here. This little bulge out is actually, I can stick my finger in that way. So air is flowing from here. Some of it's going around that way, some of it's going this way. And then let's see this lower one. Let's see if we can visualize the same deal here. So it's going down, it's going to that runner. It's coming out to this runner. It's just traveling underneath. Here's the, well, where does it go? Yeah, it goes basically under this, the lower half of this. So it's going in that runner there, and it's coming to this runner here. So it kind of looks like the lower plane doesn't have as bad of a run as the upper plane. Okay, one last thing to consider here. I thought I had a couple of 4-hole carburetor spacers, but I don't, or I can't find them. I do have a couple of adapters. So, I mean, I'm not going to run an adapter, but maybe, imagine with me, I get a 4-hole spacer, and we're probably going to go with something that's 1 inch thick, because this, typically, manufacturers, when they're casting manifolds, if there's more than one engine that this will fit on, they will make the ports work better with the smaller engine, and so you get a smaller plenum volume. So to boost the volume a little bit, we're going to put spacers on here, most likely. So I'm thinking about taking a couple of 4-hole spacers and cutting the center out and maybe plopping it on there. And you know, we do have a dyno shop nearby, so maybe we'll make this an experiment. Once the car is running, we'll run the spacer with the divider taken out this way, and then so if anybody's got any thoughts on airflow on this dual quad, go ahead and leave a comment. I'm really curious to see if anybody out there has some experience with this. These Blue Thunder manifolds are fairly rare because not a lot of people run them. I bought it because of the looks. I think it's going to look killer in that engine bay. If we were going for real high horsepower or something easy, I would just do a single 4-barrel, just a big one, right? Like I don't know, 900 CFM, something like that. So when we start driving this thing, it's going to be the big tuning experience, right? We'll get the air fuel meters on it. We will get vacuum gauge. We'll rig it up so we can understand what the engine wants and what it's actually getting, and we'll start tuning. It could turn into a nightmare, but I'm cautiously optimistic. We'll see how it goes. In any case, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you again real soon. What do you see, Bubba?
That's a battery truck.
Yeah?
Cool. Daddy, cool.
What are you doing?
I want my T-Rex coat.
Okay, bye-bye.
I want my T-Rex coat.
You got your T-Rex coat on? Bye-bye.